Hello.
I've got to decide one way or the other if it's going to be format-wise, if I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves, or if I'm going to introduce you. We've got to boil that down one of these days.
I think it's simpler if you introduce us, because we're not in the same room, so it's easier that way. I think.
Yeah, I suppose so. So I
Yeah.
could say like my virtual left or whatever. I don't know. I've heard some people do that and it doesn't work well. So yeah, maybe we just stick with this.
Yeah. Well, you gotta set that at the beginning too, like who's left and who's right.
Yeah.
And then everyone's gonna be really upset when you tell them that they're the left side. And, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's move on here. Anyway, so yeah, this is episode 80, and I don't know, there's not a whole lot we've been playing. I guess you kind of been playing basically more or less the same stuff as last week outside of the Gundam beta.
Yeah. I played the very little bit of the Gundam beta.
Yeah.
So I had.
Yeah. This is one that like we were just talking about off the air. I should have been playing, but I'm in the middle of something I'm trying to get done within the next week. That's like a 40-something hour. Yeah. So yeah, then time's a little constrained for me. But anyway, you go ahead.
All right. Well, I have played the other Gundam like virtual on style games that they've put out before. I've played a few of those with some friends, and they're fun enough. I was hoping this one would be a little more fighting gamey based on the title.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out no, it's not.
Okay.
It is very much virtual on arena style Gundam game, and just like I didn't feel like I was moving very fast when I was playing. I only played for a little bit, and it just never felt very good when I was playing it. The environments looked very bland. Like the Gundams look great, which is good because they should.
Yeah.
But there's a huge roster of them, which is as a like a not a huge. I don't have a hugely deep well of Gundam knowledge, but I recognize enough sets of them at least. So I picked Gundam Unicorn because that one looks really cool. I've always liked that one. And that's probably the best produced Gundam show they've ever done. It's pretty modern too. But yeah, they didn't have any G Gundam. I was pretty upset about that. I hope that's in like the final release, because as a Toonami kid, I'm a pretty big G Gundam fan, and all of its stereotypical
What, not Gundam
Gundams. Wing? No, not Wing. I liked Wing when I was younger, but I've gone back to watch both, and only one of them holds up because one of them knows what it is, and the other one does not know what it is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
that was like in my big like. Even I think that was like aired in my big like anime phase of my life, and even then I was just like, this is not interesting at all.
Wing is so melodramatic, but not in any good way.
Yeah.
The Gundam designs are great. They're all iconic Gundam designs. So and then they're all in there. Yeah, it was. I liked scrolling through them. That's probably the most fun I had, was looking at all of them. And then,
but actually, pretty 3D models.
Yeah, and then I felt like in the other games I could dash around. You could dash around a lot more. It seemed like, but in this one I just couldn't figure out a way to do that reliably.
Okay.
Like it seemed a little plotting. It might have just been the Gundam I chose. Maybe Unicorn is just like that because it's a very powerful Gundam, and maybe they made it just slower. But yeah, I just think I wanted a little more depth. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, I wanted to like it.
I think you might be hoping too much from a Gundam game. As
Yeah,
a guy who
I know.
has liked Gundam games,
Yeah.
or is wanted to like Gundam games for a long time, there is like a tactical game on the Super Nintendo or Super Famicom, because it never came out here. And then, depending on your tolerancy for Muso games, the Dynasty the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games. Other than that, yeah, I'm real hesitant on
I've had to
Gundam games.
I feel like if I were to get into Muso games, Gundam would be one of the first ones I tried. I just kind of, it's a good universe for that in my mind. But they're, I don't know, yeah. I think I also had hope because it's like like how Dragon Ball finally got a good fighting game for what it looks like from
Yeah.
ever. It's I think I was hoping that it would be more along the lines of just like a more. I hadn't looked at any coverage of this game. I just based on the name, I thought it would be a little more fighting gamey. And hopefully I get into the Dragon Ball Fighters beta. I did sign up for it, so hopefully they let me in. But it's this month too. Yeah, this is I just got turned off immediately by it. There is a bunch of co-op and stuff there, so I'm sure people that like those games will find plenty to like. And there's a bunch of there's online and offline stuff. So yeah, I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Those Gundam games, they're largely more miss than hit, unfortunately, because there is a plethora of that genre, or those games in many genres. So it's just, yeah, you can kind of take and pick what you want out of them, and if you're really into Gundam, you might get into them. Like, I remember buying the Gundam Seed PS2 game and not being very fond of it, and that was like right after I'd watched Seed, or right in the middle of watching Seed, when I was still sort of into it for whatever reason. Like I wasn't like into it, but I just thought it was okay, and I was like, oh, I'll play a game based on this, and just that kind of bounced off me too. So like I said, the really the only like two, I guess, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of it, is the I guess if you want to include all of them as one, but the 4 Muso games. God, that's weird to think about. There's 4 of those, and then the tactical one that came out for the Super Famicom that I kind of discovered a few years back on an emulator. I was like, ooh, this is actually kind of cool. I like this. So that's one of these days I'll actually want to get through and play. But
yeah, I
God
feel
knows
like
when.
there is a good opportunity for a fighting game in Gundam if they just like put a good team on it, or just a game with a little more depth to it,
Yeah.
at least.
I think that's going to be a series that would be hard, because like just by like if you think about it, like if I don't know, I mean, if you want to go like with like technology wise, like as you go on, like of course the Gundam Mark II and then the Zeta Gundam are going to be totally outclassed by everything that comes down further along the lines in the series. So it's like it just feasibly shouldn't make any sense that the even the first Gundam stands up to the Zeta Gundam. So it's like, well, I mean, yeah, and that's so early on in the series. I mean, those are literally like the first 2 TV shows. So
yeah, or like the tank Gundam, like the one with the tread legs and stuff like that, like the dual cannon, whatever. That's in the game too. Like those guys are in the game.
Oh wow,
there's a large selection.
See, those are like joke characters in the Muso games.
Yeah. Then there's there are plenty of cool ones. I like the tall geese in there, of course. I always thought that was a cool looking Gundam, and like this like pirate themed Gundam show. Like I had never. They had pretty cool Gundam designs. They were like space pirates. So the Gundam look like space pirates too. Because I mean, of course they do. It's anime.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a new recent show. That Orphans one. I don't know if that was in there.
Oh, Steel Orphans.
A lot of the show titles were in Japanese. I could figure out which one was which generally.
Yeah, just by appearance, basically.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's a series like I have a lot of like interest in, and I haven't watched as much of it as I'd like, just because of I guess the amount of series in that universe is just intimidating, to say the least.
Yeah, I talked about it on podcast. I watched 8 the MS Team like a couple months ago. It was pretty good. It's like a Vietnam inspired one.
I think if I remember, I think that's what the Super Famicom game is based on. But I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been a couple years since I played it. So
yeah, Unicorn's worth watching. And at least if you just want like high budget anime, like that's a good one to watch. It's pretty nuts just how good that show looks. Yeah, so that's all I got to say on that. I think I didn't really dig into it enough to talk about anything else. So
yeah,
Gundams look good.
That's one of those like I really should just download it and play it. I mean, just give myself a quick break from what I've been playing. Just I don't know, but I kind of don't want to too, because I'm actually really enjoying what I'm playing lately. So yeah. With that, maybe just transition over to it. I've been playing Ys VIII. The Lacrimosa of Dana.
Who's Dana?
She's a character in the game
Okay.
that I haven't met yet.
Why is she lachrymose?
Well, I did discover Lacrimosa is Latin for effectively weeping.
All right.
So
So what I said was correct.
Yeah,
That's a correct way to put it. Yeah.
Total shot in the dark and you hit it. So
Yeah.
could have also been any number of other things, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know why she's weeping because I haven't gotten that far into it yet. I'm about 9 hours into this game so far, and let me tell you, this is a pretty, let's say, broadening of the Ys brand. They've added base building into this, which is, man, I was not expecting that when I kind of came into this game. Like, I was kind of staying as dark as possible on this game and everything that it was, just because like I like going into these like kind of surprised. Like, it's an Ys game, so the formula kind of tends to stay the same. So I didn't really want to go in there and be like, have the one big thing that maybe would change it up a little bit, like, just be blown for me. But man, adding something like this into it, it's added a nice little depth to it that it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't interfere with what I go to Ys for, which is outside of the fucking rockin' soundtrack, the combat. I mean, the combat's really snappy in this one still. If you played an Ys game before and you like the combat in an Ys game, this will still do it for you. It plays very similar to Ys VII, where you have 3 party members and it's sort of a like a rock paper scissors thing with the enemies, where some enemies are weak to certain things, so you have to switch party members that way, or which party member you're using at the moment that way. But for the most part, I just use Adol just because he's sort of the best character. Just he's fast and he's strong. He's not as strong as your heavy hitter, but he's also not as fast as the oh god, what's your name? Laxia? Yeah, there's some weird names in this game.
he's the Ryu of the party. He's the standard. He's the good mid-range character.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been the outside of Ys Origin, he's been the series main character since the beginning. So which was.
Oh, is there like a through line with these, or is they all like a different story?
Well, I mean, it's this literally like this is Ys VIII, so this is the most recent in the timeline of these games. They all take place like like one after the other. And it's not like Zelda where it's like, well, this is a different universe or a few hundred years down the line or whatever. This is literally like, okay, Adol Christian finishes his adventure in one thing and then he moves on to the next game, basically. So this takes place sometime after Ys VII.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I feel like I assumed JRPG series never follow a through line. So
no, well, I mean, if you look at like the Legend of Heroes games, like those all kind of follow each other. So maybe just a Falcom thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even, what is it? Secret of Mana, which, Seiken Densetsu 2, the first game of that series, like, the female character from the original Seiken Densetsu, the Game Boy game, which was Final Fantasy Adventure, I want to say? Or Legend Adventure, I want to say. Anyway, like, the female character from that game ends up becoming the Mana Tree, which is your mother of sorts in Secret of Mana. Spoilers for a 25-year-old game, I guess. I don't know, nearly 30. Wow, yeah, it's got to be near 30 years old at this point. But anyway, so getting back to Ys, like, yeah, the base building, it's not terribly in depth, and I don't think it really needs to be. And I think if it was, it would start adding a little too much to it. There's also a bulletin board that you can go accept side quests for, and as you accept side quests, you unlock more stuff that the people in your base can do for you. So like, say you do it for the person who does like the tailoring thing, she can do more armor, do more accessories for you. Trying to think what else. There's also like a base defense mechanism where occasionally your base will get raided by enemies and you'll have to go like to this like one area and just fight off like basically a horde mode of enemies. And you can add in finding material or using the materials you find as you go through the game. You can add in more defenses and everything into it. So you can add like a catapult, more gates. So this way, if they break through you, or if there's too many of them, you're kind of getting overwhelmed and they start attacking the main gate, it'll hold them off longer. So, yeah, it's like I said, it's interesting and there's a lot going on there. But the stuff that they added in there is pretty simple. So it's not like this too crazy deep of a thing for I guess what Ys is for me, which is like I said, just a really great action RPG. I mean, its combat is never going to be compared to like like the good whatever you would consider a good Devil May Cry or a Bayonetta, but it's snappy enough that like there's so much going on there that it just I'm having a great time with this game. So
Okay, so you think with the base system we got going on,
okay.
is this an open world game or like more of a you go out on like a mission structure, like kind of a mission based structure to the game? You like go out on missions, then you go back to the base at the end of a mission. Is it kind of like
Let me see. I want to say it's sort of open world, but it's gated off to you, and there are certain points where, say, you're given a mission from Captain Barbarossa, who's the like leader, who is the leader, or the captain of the ship you were on, and then sort of like leading the base that you're building, the town that you're building. You'll be gated off from going any further by one of your team members telling you like, "Oh, hey, we were supposed to do this. We should finish that." If you go too far, like I ended up trying to go too far into a certain area, and it just basically kept turning me around. So, but for the most part, it is open. It's just like I said, there's certain parts. I guess in that sense, it's sort of like a Grand Theft Auto where you're just gated by certain progression points.
okay? So,
Does that make sense?
yeah, sort of. Yeah, okay. I think I've got a picture of it now. So this is the first 3D one in the whole series. So that's kind of, and it seems like it's impressive to me that they seem to have nailed it because from what I've seen at Ys before this, it was, very much not 3D.
Yeah,
was it open world? Were they open world games before too, or were they?
Not really. It was pretty much go from here to here, and then you might have to go backwards. Yeah, a couple places. It's been a long time since I played Ys VII. I mean, I played that when it first came out, so God, 7 years ago probably. What I remember of it was you would go from like, you would go from point A to point B, and then back to point A, then to point C, and then to point D, and then you would have to go back to like point A, and then go back to point B at some point. So it's just kind of like this like gating of things. But this is a little bit more open, but still, like I said, it still is having those like point to point things where you can only go from like do certain things at certain times just based on what you have at the moment or what you finish at the moment. So, another thing that they've, for the life of me, I'm trying to remember Ys VIII if it had, or Ys VII if it had it, but I mean, like I said, it's been 7 years since I played that game, and I wasn't really thinking critically of it at that time, but they added a fast travel system into this, and the fast travel system in here is really good. Like, it's spaced out just well enough that you never feel like you're getting, like, right where you need to go, and you still have to traverse a little bit. And also, like, when you, like, fast travel to these points, it also will... You can, like, look on your map and, like, okay, well, I need to go here, and then when you look on your map, you'll see, like, oh, well, I still haven't explored here. It gives you percentages of areas, or in the areas that you're exploring, of how much of the area you've actually covered. So it's sort of this, like, drip feed of, if you're into that sort of thing, like, oh, well, I haven't gone through the entirety of this map yet, and there's still some hidden stuff, so I need to go through there. There's also abilities based on, like, I guess, equipment that you get later on down the road. Not too far in. I think maybe like 4 or 5 hours in, you get these gloves that let you climb ivy vines. But there's stuff like that it kind of will hinder some of the progress. So it's sort of like I don't, you my feeling on it, but Metroidvania in that sense. So this has been a really weird experience with Ys VIII. Like, it is not what Ys has been, but I really like what they've done with it.
Yeah, it sounds. I mean, the way you talk about the series, I've been meaning to get to it eventually because you like it quite a bit and talk about it pretty often. I was thinking Ys Origins where I would start whenever I get around to it. But this one also sounds pretty interesting it's sort of like a completely different style of game almost.
My one big complaint with it is it was also made for the Vita, and you can kind of tell that based on when you're going through the map, it will, I guess, just for ease of exploration, it kind of divides up the map into certain parts. And when you go to the next area, there will be a very incredibly brief loading screen on the PS4. I'd imagine on the Vita it's a little bit longer of a loading screen, but I mean, it's literally like maybe a second on the PS4, if that.
So it's like a Monster Hunter kind of. like
I
kind of a
can't
map
really
situation?
compare. I can't really compare it to that because
Okay.
I've never really played a Monster Hunter more than like the one that was on the Wii U, like that demo, and that was about all I've ever played of Monster Hunter. So
Yeah, they're just like very sectioned off areas. From what I've only played, I played three or four, I think, on the DS, the
okay,
3DS. It's got a sectioned off map you go around with loading screens in between. Yeah.
okay, yeah, maybe
Uh,
something like that then.
yeah. Okay. Uh, with how do the environments look? Because it's also on Vita. Does it look like a game that's also on Vita,
Yeah,
environment wise?
yeah. Like
Okay.
just overall, it sort of looks like a game. It looks like a pretty Vita game. I mean, it looks like it's probably going to
Okay.
push the Vita
Yeah.
hardware to its limits, but the PS4, it's definitely not pushing it. Like I think I've mentioned this before. My PS4 is normally pretty loud, which is why I normally use the Xbox One as my main console. I I don't really recall the fan really kicking in on Ys VIII. So I don't think it's
That's
pushing
good.
the hardware very much.
It's you take sacrifices,
Yeah.
but you really. I don't think you mentioned the writing at all. Is that just not worth talking about? Is it just stand
It's
or
serviceable.
standard?
I Within the first hour, I switched it over to Japanese dialogue because the English voice acting's not great. But you're not really missing much. I mean, the story's just kind of, I don't know. Like I've never really gone to Ys for their stories. They're serviceable at best. You know, they're,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, Oath and Felghana's probably got the best story out of them, and even then, it's just kind of like it's it's no it's nothing to write home about. It's nothing I'm ever going to like recommend. Like if somebody's looking to play a JRPG for its story, I would recommend based on that. Ys has always just been an action RPG when the story's just sort of the side dish to it. So
Okay.
as far as that, I mean, I don't know, character designs kind of, I don't know, like I said, it looks like Vita. It looks like a Vita game in that sense. It's
Okay.
a
Yeah.
pretty Vita game. So I mean, I don't know, like this looks like something like if I had, I probably wouldn't have felt bad if I had just played it on the PlayStation TV basically through a Vita card. So
Oh yeah, the PlayStation TV. that's a that's a cool little thing that they've never used right.
yeah, yeah, that was something I think that had a lot of potential and just never. I don't think Sony ever figured out what to do with it properly. So,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, yeah, that's been my time with Ys VIII. I am plowing through that game, trying to get through before the game actually releases next Tuesday. This way I can get a review up, kind of day and date with it. Maybe not a couple days before because the embargo's up, but I, like a dummy, decided to ask for a review code for it. A little bit later than maybe I should have, and I was like, oh man, I didn't even think I was
Yeah,
going to get
because
a review code for it. And, yeah.
yeah, well, I saw reviews were already out. I assumed the game was already out, honestly, because I've seen reviews of. I didn't know they just released an embargo, took up the embargo like 2 weeks early. That's kind of
Yeah, the embargo
surprising.
went up August 30th, so
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not too common these days.
No, but I think NIS had the right thing with doing that, with getting the word out on the game being actually pretty good, and then hopefully guys like me who are a little bit smaller and maybe didn't have time to get into it as early as everyone else did will do another little push for it as it comes out, because man, I have the collector's edition on pre-order, and I'm not canceling that, and that is $100 pre-order, so that hopefully will give you some indication about how much I'm enjoying this game so far. That I'm willing to. I've already got the game for free effectively, and I'm willing to spend $100 on it still. So
Yeah. You gotta support developers
yeah,
that you like.
yeah. Falcom's
Yeah.
Falcom's sort of the been that weird thing of like in the last 7-8 years that like they've kind of quietly become like my favorite developer out of Japan. I mean, at the very least, like I said, I haven't played a game or even listened to one of their soundtracks that I've just been like, yeah, this soundtrack just kicks ass. So
I'd say mine's
oh, go ahead.
I'd say mine's Capcom, but then I kind of throw up my mouth a little bit when I say that too. It's just a weird thing. I
Yeah.
love a lot of Capcom games, but fuck, man, sometimes it's just like, oh. Anyway, yeah, what were you gonna say? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like honestly, that's another reason why I'm kind of like I'm really wanting that damn collector's edition early. It's just I want the soundtrack. I found myself like lingering in areas longer than I needed to just to finish up the track basically before it loops. So I mean, we've talked extensively as to like how much game music kind of like will grab me, and this soundtrack.
Yeah, you love music.
Yeah, I am just this soundtrack is just really doing it for me. I mean, the more like, I guess, mellow moments of the game, those tracks do just fine. But I mean, when you're out like exploring, exploring a beach and you just got this like rock and like kind of prog rock thing going for it, it's like, oh man, this is fucking great. So hopefully the next episode, or maybe not the next episode, but the episode after that, I'll have gotten the soundtrack by then, and I'll insert some that into the podcast.
Yeah,
in the next few weeks, I would imagine. So.
Yeah, I value your opinion on video game music. It is a much better opinion than mine is. Because I know when I hear good music, but I never really think. I don't always think about it. But
yeah, that tends to do a lot for me in games. I mean, we talked about that last week with Secret of Mana. Like, that is one of those soundtracks that has just held up for me over the years, and it's one of the most important soundtracks in my like just knowledge, because it just informs so much of what I like about video game music. So.
You and Tim Turry get to have a long conversation.
Oh, I would love to talk to Tim Turry sometime, but yeah. I'm trying to think, like, and I think, like I said, it was like 7 or 8 years ago when Ys VII came out that Michael Cunningham from RP Gamer is the one who was pushing real hard on Ys VII, just like how much he enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what? I trust this guy's opinion for the most part. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. And oh man, I have not looked back on Ys since then, because the first Ys game I played was Wanderers from Ys for the Super Nintendo. Yeah. That was a weekend rental that I regretted when I was a kid.
Yeah,
that was not a good game. But that soundtrack, even back then, kind of stuck in me. Like I went back to it a few years ago and I was like, "Yep, this was that game that I remember playing, like side-scrolling wise, and then just the music in there." I was like, "Okay, so this music has stuck with me all these years, and even though the game, like, ugh. I played like 4 hours of it, 3 hours of it, and I was like, oh man, this game is not good. I don't like this thing." And Oath sounds like a remake of it. So.
Sounds like my relationship with Persona and how I got into Persona. It's like enough people you trust say good things about it. You got to give it a try at least.
Yeah.
So.
See, that's sort of been my thing with Persona. Like not everyone, but a lot of people like praise the music, and like whenever they like insert music into like podcasts or whatever, and just like, it doesn't do it for me.
It's the music is it needs the scene involved with it too. Okay. In my opinion, because that game's all about style, and the music just enhances the style of the game.
Okay.
I think. I don't know if I would. I also don't listen to video game music on my own anyway, but I think it's fantastic when it's in the game. At least I can at least say that. So, just it's more of a total package thing.
I gotcha. Yeah, there are some soundtracks that like the soundtracks complement better than they actually are like by themselves, and those are the ones like I appreciate, but those are the ones that will just sit on my hard drive of my Mac and just never get played. Whereas, like I said, like Secret of Mana, like after we got done talking about it last week, I ended up like listening to that like on my way to work and at work, that night, and I was like, man, I love this soundtrack. So just put it in my head that it's like, oh, I want to listen to this again. So. Anyway, that's basically what I've been playing there. John, did you have anything else you wanted to cover?
No, I've just been playing more XCOM 2 and Hearthstone. I did the solo adventures in Hearthstone, the 2 that I missed. Since those are cool. They're based on raid bosses and raid dungeons and stuff. So you play against specialized decks that don't necessarily follow the rules of Hearthstone. So it kind of makes you think differently too. So they're fun to do, and they give you you get some cards you can only get through those.
Okay.
So those are fun. They're hard too. My decks are very good because I spent a lot of money on that game, but so I didn't have too much trouble with most of them, but they were at least a challenge. So that was fun. And then XCOM 2, just plugging away. I feel like I'm on the verge of starting to get some real momentum going, or the game beating me. So like this mission I'm on is probably going to determine whether I win or lose at the whole XCOM 2 thing.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at there. I got a fifth squad member now. That's a big buff. So yeah, the game's still hard. The game's still really hard.
That is, like I said, that's one of those ones. If I had infinite time, I would love to play that thing. It just, yeah. At this point, I don't. Yeah, between reviews and future game clubs, I'm like, I don't have time to play that one. So.
Yeah, I'm glad I did. I was. It's a fantastic game. The difficulty should, but really, I feel like if you haven't played the original, or if you haven't played Enemy Unknown or Within, probably shouldn't play 2 first. I should not. I don't think that should be your first one. It's just, it's too. I think it's too much as to be your first one.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, I think Enemy Unknown is probably the best entry point to the series because there's
it's a
there's
really
no real good
game.
entry point in the original versions of that game because those are balls hard.
I would say Enemy Within, which is the expansion with Unknown mixed into Unknown.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the best choice for people if they want to get into the series to start with that one. It's got a great opening mission, like where it basically teaches you that you're gonna lose people in that game and you got to get used to it.
Yeah.
So it's a damn good game. I hate the satellite system. I'm glad that's not in this one. I never liked the satellite system.
Yeah, especially considering that was like basically the way you win the game, if I'm recalling correctly. It's like you had to really go hardcore in that satellite stuff.
Yeah, and they're expensive and they take a long time to produce. So I like the meta game of 2 more than I liked it in 1. It's a little more involved in 2, but it's also not as predicated on doing one specific thing. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to some news then, I guess. Just real quick hits here. I don't think we have too much to cover. To the cries of, I don't want to say no one, but no one, Nightmare Creatures is coming back for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. That was a series, like I remember playing the first one and not being overly impressed with it and just kind of let it go from there. And the second one, from what I remember hearing, is not very good. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one to bring back.
It was like, I think people liked it at the time. It had a lot of dismemberment stuff in it. It was a very violent game, so they had that going for it. But I mean, it's not impressive anymore.
Yeah.
But when it wasn't that impressive then.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I don't remember if the first one made it to the Dreamcast, but the second one did, and even then, that didn't do very well over there. So, let's see. Moving on from there, Miiverse, Wii U chat, and Nintendo TV. You know, that thing that never really kicked off. Well, those are coming off. We're coming to an end November 8th. Yeah, November 8th. I think the TV thing never even took off in Europe. So.
Yeah, I forgot it existed.
Yeah, I honestly, it's something I never used, and it was one of those things like I would accidentally press the button on the gamepad occasionally, and I just like, oh, come on, don't make me do this. Just having to back out of it. I think it was an interesting idea where it would sort of like take, I guess like that, Can I Stream It service, that website or whatever you want to call it, and sort of like put it onto a game console, which I think is, like I said, an interesting idea. It just was never implemented very well. And then, the Miiverse, that's its own barrel of fun, I suppose. So.
Yeah, excuse me. There is, like creating a social space is an interesting idea, and there are people that really enjoyed it. It never really for me at all.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, there's some like Splatoon adopted it, and some people really like that in Splatoon too. Splatoon also, I should say, both Splatoons. But I also don't interact with it there that much either. It's just I just want to play the game. I don't really like I have other social medias, also other social media options. They're some people. I'm sure this will affect some people quite a bit that really liked it. But I can't really say I have much experience with it personally.
Yeah, I messed around with Miiverse a little bit. Like I was posting some screenshots of Mega Man X when it first came on Virtual Console. Because that's sort of one of those games. As soon as it becomes available on a service, that just I buy it and I play it through once. Just it's yeah, I don't know. It's in my top
Yeah.
10 of games. So, but anyway, like I just remember like, oh man, it's like I'm rusty or whatever, and somebody had put like it's probably the lag input, and I started noticing. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. So
Yeah. Yeah. I heard some people talking about how it would affect Mario Maker because it had a lot of Miiverse functionality with it too, just for like level finding and stuff.
yeah,
And recommendation stuff.
yeah.
I don't know how vital it is.
It's not incredibly, but it's something that's going to affect the way that game sort of like recommends things to you in the long run. I don't imagine. I mean, I think when Mario Maker came out, the writing was on the wall with the Wii U already. That wasn't going to save the system, so it was sort of like, well, the system's going to die on the vine eventually here. So
yeah, and there will probably be a Mario Maker on the Switch soon enough. I
can't imagine there wouldn't be. So I mean, it seems like they finally got their online things set up a little better on the Switch.
I'm not gonna even make any assumptions about Nintendo and online.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
don't know.
I played Splatoon 2, Jason.
Yeah. Oh, I know you did.
Yeah.
I remember what you mentioned about it on your review there. So.
Yeah, it's a really good game in spite of Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, sometimes I think it almost seems like Nintendo's thing is just like they're very good at what they do in spite of themselves. So.
Yeah.
It's really weird. So I mean, I would be okay with like Nintendo just never really jumping in the online thing and just making these like really great single player experiences. But they keep trying to jump on the online thing, and I'm like, guys, there's infrastructure that you can just copy. Like,
I know it's right there.
I mean, that's exactly what Sony fucking did. They just copied Xbox Gold Xbox Live when they bumped up to PS4. They're like, hey, you know what? Xbox Live is much better to interface with. Why don't we just steal that? And hey, guess what?
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Good." Everyone was like, "Yes, do that."
Yeah,
it's like that's because everyone likes it, so it works. It works great. It does everything you want it to do. It's
yeah.
Like you don't have to get a phone app to talk to people.
Yeah. On top of like a splitter or whatever the hell you need. Oh god, yeah. That stupid squitch thing we talked about a few episodes back.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh, Nintendo, I love you to death, but god damn it, your decisions don't baffle me sometimes. So, let's see. Moving on from that, we'll get back to Nintendo here in a little bit. But there's going to be a new puzzle fighter for smartphones, which I think is a good fit for smartphones. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't on there already. Honestly.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, that didn't happen already. I was like, yeah, well, shit. Okay, Capcom, good for you.
Yeah, puzzle fighter's cool. So, it's me and you were both talking. We are big puzzle game guys, but I mean, I know it's cool. I like Puzzle Fighter when I've played it. So
yeah, and I really like the little chibi versions of the Street
Fighter
characters.
Those are great. I think those are what I like the most. I think that's out of everything. The puzzle stuff is fine, but I like the stuff around it more.
I've got an old keychain of Ken in his little chibi form from Puzzle Fighter. So it's around somewhere. I don't know what the hell. God. Probably haven't seen it for like 6 years, but I know it's around somewhere because why wouldn't have gone up and walked away? But anyway, yeah. So like, I just really like that art style. I just think it's cute. So
yeah, it's a cool little game.
All right, and sweet jeez. So how do you want to talk about this Resident Evil thing here?
Well, okay, so Resident Evil 7, which came out this year, for those that can't remember, it came out in January.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. So.
Yeah, it's I think the first or second week of January. It was. I actually don't remember what date it came out. It doesn't matter.
Early in January.
Yeah.
It was nearly by default the first big release of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I liked it quite a bit. As a big Resident Evil fan, I was pleasantly surprised. And then they announced a new DLC for it that would be coming out in March called Not a Hero, and it would star Chris Redfield, and who is a big character in the series. And it was canceled, or not canceled, it was moved because it did not match the quality of the main game, is what the game director said. So they wanted it to be as good as possible, so they delayed it They did not to an unspecified time. And now they just announced Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition, which is in line with Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition, which they also did. And that's coming out December 12th. And with it, the Not a Hero DLC will release alongside it as a free expansion. And so you'll be able to play as Chris on December 12th. And also the end of Zoe DLC expansion. And Zoe is a character in the game whose whereabouts or fate is a little up in the air at the end of the game. So it's going to explain what happens there. If you have the season pass, you'll get that for free, which also came with the banned footage DLCs, which are cool. They're kind of
little mini things, right?
Based on there was some a cool level in the game in the original, or a cool mission in the base game that was kind of like a Saw kind of escape room kind of thing. And then the banned footage had a couple of those, and they also had some horde mode stuff too. So that season pass came with those, and now this End of Zoe thing. If you did not get a season pass, End of Zoe will be $15. So probably a couple hours long. I wouldn't expect much more than that, honestly. So I'm probably gonna play them. It's in December when everything else. I guess if you're gonna pick a date, I think December is a good time to release some DLC because it'll be just past all the major releases. And
yeah, still in time for the Christmas shopping area. So
yeah. And I reckon Resident Evil 7. If you want a good horror game, that's a good ass horror game.
I was originally holding out because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy a PlayStation VR eventually, and I just more kind of thought about it. I'm like, no, I'm not. So I think I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna get that when it comes out, or the Gold Edition comes out.
I would love to play it on PSVR. I know that's something we didn't think about. They did announce a new bundle coming out this fall for the PSVR with this time it has like the camera in it too, and I think motion controllers, like the Move controllers. I mean,
yeah.
So originally just had the headset. I think.
You know why we didn't talk about it is because I don't think any of us care.
Yeah. I really want PSVR to be cool. I think maybe the next iteration.
Yeah.
But because I'm sure there'll be another one within the next couple of years, and that'll probably be the last try at VR if that doesn't work. I don't know about VR. So
yeah. My one experience with VR was at the State Fair over here when I was a kid, and it was like just this shooter. Where I mean, it looked like you could literally do it on the Virtual Boy. Basically, it was like black with like red polygonal people representations. I suppose it was a little rough, and I got killed in I think about 3 minutes, and that was my $5.
Yeah, I think VR has come a little bit further since then.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one game to play in VR, I'd pick this. So
I've heard that it might be terrifying to play in VR. Like the few people I've heard talk about it that have played it in VR have just been like, I can play it for like 20 minutes, an hour at a time, and it just gets to be too much.
Yeah, the first like 2/3 of this game are very tense, and sadly it kind of loses steam at the end. But yeah, it's probably the scariest Resident Evil game for about the first 2/3 of that game, and so it's. Yeah, I think this is a good. If you haven't got Resident Evil 7 yet, I would say wait till December and just get it all at once. And
yeah, although you can probably get Resident Evil 7 at this point for like $20-something. I think I've seen it for like $24 in places.
Capcom usually does a Resident Evil sale in October also. So, and but yeah, I just play Resident Evil 7 if you like horror games, and Resident Evil, it's a damn good one. So. Yeah, that's about all I got to say on that, I think.
All right. Real quick here, I don't want to say this is breaking, but this is kind of breaking here. It looks like 90% of Gearbox is working on what you want them to be working on. So
Borderlands 3?
Yep, sounds like there's going to be a new Borderlands game.
90%, huh?
Yeah. Well,
I guess you got to go all in on your cash cow.
Yeah.
So.
Well, especially after the last what was it? Their last thing was
Battle?
Battleborn.
Yeah, well, I feel like maybe there was something in between. That was last year, so it was probably the last thing that they released.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That was their last thing,
Yeah.
I think. And then so they just need to get on to something that could make them some money. So
Was
I
it
don't
Duke Nukem before that? Was that the last thing before that, or is
probably.
it? That and I think
Was
that and Alien Colonial Marines came out the same year, didn't they? It was both Gearbox.
oh boy, that was a
Yeah.
rough year if that's the case.
Yeah, because Borderlands 2 was 2012.
When did the pre-sequel come out?
2014, 15-ish probably. Probably 14.
Yeah,
it's on
2014.
PS4 also.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's but again, we've talked about this before. That's a series I don't particularly care for. So.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really anymore either. I'm curious as to what a Borderlands 3 looks like. I mean, it's been 5 years since 2. So maybe I'm sure there will be some hints of Destiny in there too, because they
got to do something with it.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe a lot more mobility stuff. Who knows?
Or who knows? I mean, maybe they just don't evolve at all, and Gearbox just kind of is exposed for the middling developer they are in the end.
Yeah. What are their series? They had Brothers in Arms. That's Gearbox, right?
Yeah, that was I really like that.
Yeah.
Was it Highway to Hell? I think it was. That was on the 360.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was Brothers in Arms.
One.
Road to Hill 30 was the first. What the fuck it was called? The first one.
Yeah.
And then Highway to Hell. They had that. Then they had that like crazy, like 4-player co-op one too that never came out.
Oh God. Yeah, I think
Remember,
we even talked about it like a few months back.
Yeah, that was that. It might have got changed into a different game. I know it never came out. It might have became something else. But what else does Gearbox do? They had the Duke Nukem license.
Yeah. Oh, Furious 4 was that one.
Yeah. Okay. I remember the trailer for that game because it was like, this is Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, a tonal shift. Let's say.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So they've got Duke Nukem, but okay. So this is all the stuff they have that is theirs basically to develop is Battleborn, Duke Nukem, Borderlands, Brothers in Arms, and what? They developed some Half-Life stuff?
I know. I mean, it's probably some people came from Valve.
Here, right from Wikipedia. Gearbox has developed a total of 6 games in the Half-Life series, the expansion packs of Opposing Force and Blue Shift, ports of Half-Life for Dreamcast, which got canned, so which included Blue Shift and Half-Life for PlayStation 2, which included Half-Life Decay. They also did a large amount of work on both the retail release of Counter-Strike and the main portion of Counter-Strike Condition Zero. So they don't really have a whole lot in the chamber there to work on.
Samba de Amigo.
Man, they worked on Samba de Amigo?
Yeah, that's what it says.
I wonder how involved they were.
Bulletstorm? I must have worked with someone on Bullet, because I know that's People Can Fly made that. I liked Bulletstorm.
Did they work on Bulletstorm or the full clipped edition?
Probably full clipped edition.
Okay, they may have just been handling like port stuff for it then.
Because full clip is they got the Duke Nukem DLC in it.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. Maybe they just same publisher, so they just were like, here, what you guys aren't doing anything, and you guys are just costing us money. Why don't you work on this?
But yeah, like this list is it looks like a bunch of games that just had small parts in some fashion.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't mean to get us too distracted on that because neither one of us particularly cares about Borderlands or Gearbox, it seems like. So,
it's a catalog, not impressive.
Yeah. Like I said, like I said, maybe when 3 comes out and it turns out to be not so great, they'll be exposed for the frauds that they are. So,
I think that game will do fine.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Doesn't mean it's good, but it'll do fine. So. All right, so moving on here, Nintendo announced a whole bunch of indie games, which they so eloquently titled Nindies. God, yeah.
It's like when your parents or grandparents to use social media for the first time, and like they just kill a funny joke immediately.
Yeah. That's yeah. Nintendo's never really gotten the hang of social media very well. Like, the only one I think that they've managed is like Instagram, when they were doing the amiibo stuff. Like, they would like take like cool pictures of amiibos, like, or amiibo. Sorry, yeah, that's amiibo.
Yeah. Jason,
is the
come on,
plural.
fuck.
The plural of amiibo is amiibo.
Didn't you correct someone on the Zelda podcast? I feel like you yeah. Like you were the one that corrected people.
Yeah, I try to correct people on it because I've been corrected multiple times about it. So, but anyway, so here we'll run down these Nindies here real quick. But the one I wanted to bring attention to is no. I guess full disclosure, the composer for this game's soundtrack also has done our theme song, but that was also a paid work, so it's not like it's not like he's like, hey, if you do this, well, I don't know. There like no, whatever.
It's a great theme song.
Yeah. So Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King, which I reviewed earlier this year, is coming to the Switch. That is a as I'm recalling, I described it. It plays a little bit like A Link to the Past and A Link's Awakening kind of combined there. So. And comes with a full recommendation for me. I give it 4 out of 5 if I'm recalling correctly, and I really liked it. And Visager, who did the soundtrack, did a pretty cool job with that thing. So,
yeah, I think you did get a 4, if I remember. But I have not played it, so I can't tell you from the music I've heard. It sounds pretty good.
In my continuing attempt to make John his whatchamacallit, my music, I suppose, inventory a little bit bigger there. Says the guy who pretty much only listens to video game music. So
yeah, I listen to plenty of music. It's not video game music.
Yeah. See, I got to that age where I just kind of cut off from everything new for the most part, except I'll hear something occasionally, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then
I just started listening to a new album today. It's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Cool.
It's yeah.
I started listening to this. I heard this song at a hardware store I don't know, about a month ago, and I like. Kind of OD'd on it for about a week, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of new. And I looked, and when I actually looked it up, like looked at the date of it after I bought it, I was like, oh, this came out 5 years ago. All right. Yeah. So anyway, let's get this list here going. So yeah, Blossom Tales comes a full recommendation from me. So first up, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes.
This is my favorite announcement of all of them, I think. I like Suda51 generally, occasionally. I appreciate Suda51. I'll say that. Yeah. And I like No More Heroes in spite of a lot of things. I like it's a hell of a thing, all put together. But it's so I'm looking forward to a new one. I like the basic concept of it. I have a feeling that it's gonna be motion controlled. I just have this whole feeling because they can't have you not jerk off a Joy-Con to charge up his sword.
Gotta love it.
I don't want there to be motion controls, but I just have this feeling in my gut that Suda's gonna do that.
Yeah, that's a series I've never played, so
they're very it's more about the style. The gameplay is okay.
Yeah,
it's more
which also seems to fit Suda's sort of thing anyway.
Yeah, it's Suda's. Yeah, that's kind of Suda in general. Is just make something weird as shit and also make it a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a game in there. It's not maybe what you're gonna go there for as the main draw.
Yeah, it's and I don't feel like it tries necessarily. I feel like most of the time it's not trying super hard to be weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I feel like it comes across as a sincere weirdness. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on here. SteamWorld 2 Dig coming the 21st of September. So yeah, just few weeks actually.
Is
That's what
that
I'm looking forward to.
yeah? Because they did a heist, right? That was the in between this. That was SteamWorld Dig and then SteamWorld Heist, which is a totally
Yeah,
different thing. Too. Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to remember if they've done anything else, but I think that's been it. But yeah, Shovel Knight, King of Cards coming. Let's see, a competitive shooter, Morphe's Law, which I don't know anything about.
Morphe's Law.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna.
Oh, I do know what this is. I do know that. I've heard people talk about this. Like you, is it like when you shoot people in?
I hope you're not asking me this question because I haven't looked at anything beyond the
No,
title.
no. No, I'm trying to like remind myself. Give me a second. I gotta look just before I tell us in the wrong order. It could, like you're based on performance and like where you're getting shot and stuff. Like your body will, like I think if you're doing really well, your body, like your head will really grow and stuff. Like your body parts will grow and shrink.
Oh, I have heard of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is so it sounds interesting. It's 4-on-4, I think. But so I think that it's a Switch is a good place for something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, probably
can't turn out much worse than Drawn to Death.
Nothing to say.
Oh, that game. That game. So
that game exists.
Yep. All right, let's move on here. Kentucky Route Zero TV edition coming to the Switch. That's also going to be coming to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which is going to include the finale of this game series that's been, or episodic thing that's been going on for, I don't know, 4 years, I want to say.
Yeah, 2013, I think. I've wanted to play it for a long time. I think this is what I was waiting for, like a full collection of it too.
Yeah, it being on Switch is
it's a good place. Yeah.
I bought it on Steam, but now that it's coming to Switch and it's going to be, complete, I think that might be where I go for it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I would like to try it. So.
I remember listening to a podcast that has, that this game has been going on so long that I remember this podcast talking about it, changing formats, ending, and then coming back in the amount of time that this game series has been going on. So,
yeah, they release like an episode a year, I think. So
yeah, I think that might even be being generous to it. I think they've gone even longer in a few instances. So
yeah.
All right, Golf Story, a Switch exclusive, which will arrive in September. I don't know.
Did you skip over Super Meat Boy?
Oh, yep. Did that maybe accidentally? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel. I don't think I like Super Meat Boy, Jason.
I really tried to like it. Like, I see why people like it. It just does not.
Yeah, I do too. I thought I would be into it, but I don't think I like it. Yeah. I don't think it. Yeah.
I think what's the guy's name that made it?
I don't remember.
Edward McMillan. Something
Sounds
like
kind of right.
Just everything he's done, like just aesthetically, has not done it for me. Like the Binding of Isaac. For me, I don't know. It's just kind of gross. I don't like it. So, kind of same thing with Super Meat Boy. Just aesthetically, doesn't do it for me.
He had a new game come out this year, End Is Nigh, and I was like the opening cutscene, I guess. The opening in that game is so many F-bombs in it. Just, it's not funny. It's not. It's just, and that game
almost as bad as Drawn to Death. Would you say?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it wasn't the whole trappings around End Is Nigh turned me off immediately, and then the game itself looked kind of like Super Meat Boy, but not even quite as good as Super Meat Boy, or at least as tight as Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad I finally got this off my chest about Super Meat Boy.
That's okay.
Yeah.
At least you did it to somebody who's not really into it either. So.
Yeah. Not like telling Gore that.
Oh no! That probably wouldn't go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on there. That Golf Story, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds like an RPG kind of thing, like that. Maybe like that. Whatchamacallit? Not Winning 11. God, what is? God, I'm trying. It's like a soccer RPG thing.
Soccer RPG.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh God.
you said wait, you were
Captain
gonna say Winning
Tsubasa.
11?
Captain Tsubasa. No,
Oh, Cap.
it's yeah. Is that what I'm thinking of?
I
Captain's.
I do not know.
Okay. Let me see. I gotta look it up now.
Mega Man Soccer.
That's what I'm surprised hasn't come out on like a virtual console. Yeah, Captain Tsubasa. It's this like long running. I think it's also an anime. Jeez, yeah, anime, manga, video game series. So.
The full 9 must be.
So, but anyway, yeah. So something along those lines. Like it strikes me in a way that like I might actually get into it just because like I like golf from a casual perspective, I suppose. Like just playing a golf game as long as it's not too overly complicated. So this seems like
The only time I like a golf game, I think I kind of like Mario Golf.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of what I've heard this one compared to. So, Dragon Mark of Death is the next Inti Creates game, and that's coming to the Switch.
I don't know what's Inti Creates. Who's Inti Creates? Never heard of them.
Mighty Gunvolt.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
The new Blaster Master game.
Yeah. Azure Strike. The one they put on the Switch actually looked pretty cool. It was like a nice different take on Mega Man. A lot of customization too in it. It was so. They seem to do good work. All right. Funky beat of Floor Kids.
Yeah, I don't know. We're literally just reading this list down from NintendoLife.com, and
yeah.
I've got nothing here. Let's see. Battle Chef Brigade.
I've seen this game in action. It's like you go out and it's like an Iron Chef, like a fantasy Iron Chef thing, where you go out and you kill monsters to get the ingredients you need.
Okay.
And you come back and you cook, and you kind of do like a match 3 kind of puzzle game too, when you're to maximize the taste of it. So it's like a crazy mashup of genres. It's kind of cool actually. So.
Okay, well,
yeah.
It actually does sound kind of interesting to me now that you're describing it, so maybe it might be up my alley. Yono and the Celestial Elephants. I don't know. That's coming to the Switch. God,
is this like Trumbo, the badass elephant? What the fuck is his name? This game is adorable. Jesus. I'm just looking at the first screenshot.
Oh yeah, that is super cute. Oh man, okay, Jesus. You know what? I might be in on this game. I don't even know what it is, but I might be in on it. That is super cute.
That elephant's adorable.
Let's see. Okay, Mulaka. God, I don't know.
Mulaka 619. Anyway,
right on that, John. No idea.
Now that I made that wrestling reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, Okay, here's the description. Battle mythical creatures, solve puzzles, and undergo magical transformations in this lush action adventure inspired by northern Mexico and indigenous Tarahumara culture. Mulaka launches.
I was going to say that could be any game until you added that last part in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Next Up Hero is coming 2018.
Okay.
Don't know what that is.
Is that like a sequel to Not a Hero?
Oh, it's a community-driven online action game. But if one person dies, an echo is left behind. Next person.
Dark Souls. Got it.
Okay. Let's just move on here. Clearly, we didn't do our due diligence and look up all 400 of these stupid things. Light Fingers. I don't know what this is. Is this that board game I'm thinking of?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like a procedural genre board game. So
that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, actually, that one I was thinking might be interesting.
Is it like an online co-op, online multiplayer? Oh, local multiplayer.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably local only would be my guess. Polybridge. It's coming this holiday. That seems like a kind of a good fit for Switch. It's sort of like a mobile type game where you just
build a bridge, right?
Puzzle solving kind of thing. Seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just not my thing, but seems like a good fit. Okay, Sausage Sports Club, which I don't know. Players looking for a physics-based sports game about adorable floppy-necked animals competing on a reality TV show are in luck. What a world we live in. Sausage Sports Club features multiple game modes. Okay.
I mean, what's that dick game? Like that competitive, like that local multiplayer game where you just play as dicks. Like, I mean,
I don't know.
You've
Isn't that just Call of Duty?
No, you're just literal dicks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gonna Google dick-based multiplayer game.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Turn
off safe search.
There's something I don't want in my browser history. Thank you very much. All right. Originally named Hidden My Game by Mom. It's now Mom Hid My Game, a much more sensible thing. It's basically just like an escape room type thing where your mother hid your... I talked about this like a few months ago, maybe even a year ago on the podcast. I don't know. But, yeah, basically like your mom takes your DS looking thing and hides it, and you're just supposed to solve the puzzle on how to get it. So it's free on like the Apple devices or, like on mobile devices. So I don't know how much this is going to be worth and what they're going to add to it to make it worth spending money on, but I don't know. So let's see. Runner 3 coming to...
I don't think I've played any of the Runner games.
I played a little bit of the first, or maybe the second one. I don't know. Whatever came out on the 360. And it's just like, meh. Let's see. Worms WMD is coming to the Switch this year. Super Beat Sports. Sure. Too many people trying to be cute with sports titles, I think, lately.
Super Beat Sports.
And then Sausage Sports Club, and then Sports Club, and Sports Ball, and just like, okay, I get it. You guys don't like sports. We get it.
Sports Friends. That was actually pretty good. Local multiplayer, like, party pack kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we've got Lick Spear Double Spear Edition throwing itself onto the Switch.
Okay.
Actually, that's going to be, by the time you hear this, tomorrow. That's coming out on the 7th there. So I've seen that pop up on sale quite a bit on the PS4, and it just really hasn't interested me. So
yeah, and me either.
Let's see. Square Enix showed off a little bit more of Lost Sphere, the follow-up to I Am Setsuna, and that's really about it there. On this Wolverblade thing that
you just wanted to say that name.
Yeah, I kind of did. So Wolverblade is game 3 years in the making.
History to life.
It was originally supposed to come out on the Xbox One. Okay. I don't know.
Look like. Is that what it looks? Is that the art style indicative of what it looks like? Oh wait.
Let's see.
Oh, it looks like it. Kind of like a more cartoonish Valiant Hearts, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. It kind of looks like Valiant Hearts if
Darkest, like a more lighthearted Darkest Dungeon, even though it doesn't look very lighthearted.
Yeah. I was gonna say cross Darkest Dungeon's aesthetic with Valiant Hearts art style and into a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Castle Crashers with a
dark twist to it.
Yeah,
I guess that's about that. So yeah. Anyway, that's all the Nindies stuff there. I don't have anything else here to cover.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. It's nice. It's nice for the Switch. It's they're getting those games on them too. It's a good place for those games.
Yeah, I mean, the Switch seems to be taking over for the Vita as the go-to like indie series or indie home basically. So
yeah, it's just a great thing to play like a small game like that on, with its mobile sensibilities already built in. No More Heroes and Kentucky Route Zero though are the ones that I would definitely be playing.
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing the Kentucky Route Zero. I'll probably play through Blossom Tales again just for the hell of it. I guess it's relatively short, and I liked it. So if not, I can just plunk away at it in my free time whenever I get some again. So all right. So with that, I think that about wraps up everything there. I can't really think of much else to talk about unless... Oh, John,
Unless it's time for Jason's Ultra Shame Pile EX plus Alpha Arcade Edition.
I thought we got rid of the shame portion of this.
This is a long list, though.
Yeah, so who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's run this down real quick. Because we've talked about my love of the of anything Yasumi Matsuno based. I knew there was a Ogre Battle game that came out on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, but I didn't know that there was like a special edition that came with the Neo Geo Pocket Color, so I bought one of those.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So the first one here is Legend of Ogre Battle Gaiden, Prince of Zenobia. I'm not going to even attempt to read the Japanese title. So, Salt and Sanctuary for the PS4.
Have you played that at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I actually kind of like it. So,
the animation was kind of weird to me.
I agree. I was not a fan of this guy's first game, The Dishwasher. So,
yeah.
But I heard enough about this that it was like a 2D like Dark Souls. I was like, okay, I might want to check this out.
Oh yeah, it's very much Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I actually kind of liked the little bit I played. Like I said, the animation's a little meh, but yeah. Anyway, Samurai Showdown 6 for the PS4.
Is that a good Samurai Showdown? I can't remember.
I don't know. It was super cheap. So.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
Oh god, I know. Yeah, there's at least 6. So, and the Amnesia Collection.
I like the first Amnesia. I've never played the second one.
Yeah, the second one the Chinese room did, and I kind of.
They were the Dear Esther people, right?
Dear Esther and Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've heard real good things about the first one, so that's kind of why I picked that up when it was on sale a few weeks back. So, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 on the Xbox One.
First one is a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about the second one. Let's see, Blaster Master Zero for the Switch. This is how long it's been. This is all the stuff I bought with my Switch. Cave Story Plus, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So yeah,
I've never played Cave Story.
I have played very little of it.
It's been put on everything.
Yeah.
I've never played.
Yeah. I actually got a little mini CD soundtrack because it bundles like certain... It's kind of random what you get bundled in with the physical edition, so... I got a little soundtrack, so it's almost like this was perfect for me. It's like, oh, good, the soundtrack. That's what I probably would want out of this, so... Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Gears of War 4, got that on sale.
Like for Switch.
Gamefly.
I know they put that on Switch.
Yeah, they'll put that there eventually. I got that on Gamefly for like $15 or something like that. So, let's see, Mighty Volt Gun Burst. Let me try that again. Holy shit, Mighty Gun Volt Burst for the Switch. Another Inti Creates game.
That's the one I was thinking of. I think it's got a lot of cool customization stuff in it.
Let's see, Kamiko for the Switch. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse 3DS.
Wait, do you like Shin Megami Tensei?
I do, actually.
Oh, but you don't like Persona?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're different. They're different aesthetics.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see, Dragon Ball Fusions for the 3DS.
I've meaning to try that game. I don't know.
Somebody from RP Gamer was playing it, and the way she talked about it seemed like right up my alley. So I was like, I want to try it. I got this on clearance, so stupid cheap. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, and that's the main reason I kind of like those games is probably more the soundtrack because Motoi Sakuraba does those. So
that's such a bad name.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, there isn't a Star Ocean game with a good subtitle. So
Faithlessness.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's remember, Square Enix also published, Infinite Undiscovery?
Yeah, there's also a guy that likes a game called Revengeance. So
True. Okay. Yeah. Video games, stupid titles sometimes.
Wait, is it still called Revengeance or is it just Rising? I can't remember if it's actually called Revengeance anymore.
God, I don't know.
Yeah, it might just be Rising.
Let's see.
Anyway,
yeah, let's move on here. I bought Slime Son for the Switch.
Slime Son.
Did you?
That's a good name.
Yeah. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not.
It is basically like a one screen like puzzle platformer essentially. So
okay. I actually haven't looked at the eShop for a little while. We should probably do that.
Let's see. Strikers 1945.
Is that that I was gonna say that is that a soccer game, and it's at 1945.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. The shorts way up to their scrotums.
yeah. Just they lose so much blood flow. You know, they can't kick as hard.
Yep. Let's see. So that's something I bought on the Switch. Here's a couple of the Japanese things I've bought about the Japanese version of Link's Awakening DX, Yoshi's Island, and then Link's Awakening. Just because I like their cover art, I suppose, or the art style on them. So.
Yeah. Do you prefer Link's Awakening or DX? What do you prefer?
I don't really have a preference. I mean, they're basically the same game. So.
Yeah, isn't DX mostly just a visual upgrade?
Yeah, a little bit, and then there's a color-based dungeon, so...
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really much to it. Well, I guess I bought this for my daughter. Just Dance 2017, so, for the Switch.
Sure.
She's really into it, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the best-selling games every year. That series has made so much money.
Yeah. Yeah, it does really well. I mean, clearly they keep putting one out every year, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, she played it at a Girl Scout camp out thing. So then I was like,
it should tell you how successful it is, because it literally has a slot devoted to it every Ubisoft press conference. So
yeah, I remember a couple years ago maybe when they did it. Oh man, it was really fucking weird.
Yeah, Ubisoft's kind of
Yeah, their presentations are odd to say the least sometimes. So
yeah,
we've got Sonic Mania for the Switch.
Have you dug into that?
I played the first 3 levels of it, and I'm kind of digging it. So
I just don't like Sonic games.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's just like, and I'm glad people like this one. I'm glad it seems to be a good one. It just looks like more Sonic to me, but I mean, I'm glad this is a good one of those.
Yeah. All right. I bought these 2 games just based on just like random scrolling through GOG. Star Control 1 and 2. I had talked about you with this.
Oh, yes.
Man, I mean, I don't know about the first one really, but that second one seems like like Mass Effect as a whole kind of took like the idea and just put it into 3D basically.
So Star Control's is it like isometric? Is it 2D? Like I have not looked at any like stuff from it. Is it like?
Well, it's 2D. I mean, these games.
I mean, is it like?
So.
But is it like? I mean, is it like a Phantasy Star kind of thing, or how do they How does it?
It looks more like just like from what I can tell of screenshots that I've looked at. Like you, I'm trying to think how to put it. They give a menu in like a menu on the bottom, and then like what's going on in the top, like we'll say 2/3 of the left of the screen or whatever. So
okay.
It's hard to describe because I haven't played it. So just everything I've read about it, I'm just like, this game, like this is one of those things like I want to dig into one of these days. So
yeah, I would like to.
Yeah, that's one of those things I think we should do for a long play game night thing, I suppose. I don't know. We'll have to.
Yeah, we need to do a long play eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, just the coordination of those is tough. We'll say.
Maybe something a little shorter first, just to get used to it.
Yeah.
But,
Hell, maybe we should finish up Link to the Past. That'd be a great start. So.
Yeah. Well, you almost did.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah. Well, yeah, we played it twice, I believe, there. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the next one? I'm trying to dig here. Zero Time Dilemma. I got for the PS4. It was, I think, accidentally put on sale on Amazon for like $11 or something stupid.
Yeah, I bought the Nonary games actually, the first 2 games that they put on PS4, like the collection of the first 2.
Yeah.
With 999 and Virtue's Last Reward.
Yeah. See, I've got that on the DS and I've got that on the Vita. So I've been kind of hesitant to buy it, but I think maybe just having them all in one place might be the way to go. So. Yeah,
I see. I'd played Danganronpa first, and I know 999 came out first, but they're very similar games in a lot of ways. So it's hard to get into because I really liked the first Danganronpa quite a bit. That's a really cool game. You can only play it once though because it's very story heavy and it's very twist focused. But it's very cool.
All right, let's see. Exile's End, which is Metroidvania.
Said it twice.
Yeah. got one
Don't
episode.
say it. Don't say it 3 times, or Metrovania will show up in your house.
Well, it would be nice if. Well, oh God, no, I don't want that to show up just yet. I do have the Samus Returns thing on pre-order, so.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I am. After playing, was it AM2R last year or this year?
Yeah.
Last year? God, I don't know.
It was last year.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
last year.
God, I'm glad you still have a sense of time. But yeah, like I'm kind of looking forward to playing that one. So I've heard some good things about it. So yeah.
Yeah, it seemed positive from like the early play. Nintendo's weird about showing off games. You can show like 3-minute chunks of a game 4 times or something, so whatever their weird rules are.
Yeah, they have got some oddball embargoes. Like,
yeah.
There's been some review embargoes I've gotten. It's like you cannot stream this game until this, but you can write about it, and then after that you can stream about it, but you can have a full review up. I'm like, what the? Okay, God. It's like if you're gonna make it this complicated, just no. I don't want the code. Here, take the code back. I don't want it. Okay. This game was on sale, and it had me curious enough that I wanted to play it, and I think this might be something we do in October for we might try to do some game nights or whatever, just because it's for spectacular. I don't know what you want to call it.
It's horror season, and myself and Gore are big horror fans by ourselves. So
yeah. So I bought Too Dark. I don't know if you've seen anything about that one.
Is that the vampire one?
No, this is basically like you're controlling this guy trying to save these kids from getting murdered. It's like a top-down like puzzle like type thing. It's really weird. Like it's I don't want to say like just because of the title, but it seemed almost a little too dark for me sometimes. And I was like, okay, just give this a shot. So I bought Rime on Xbox One. Don't ask if I've played it.
Have you played it? Have you played? I was gonna say you haven't played it. Okay, no. It's like that's very eco-ish. I've heard, but like not quite. I have a lot of mixed opinions of that game. So.
And then these adventure games that they just went on sale on GOG, I think yesterday. Still Life 1, 2, and Postmortem, which is like the third in the series, basically. So.
Okay.
And then of course Ys VIII, which is incoming for me. So eventually, until but yeah, I'm playing the review code right now. So, but anyway, that wraps it up. Like I said, it wasn't as big as I was thinking, but it was a pretty sizable list still. So I've slowed down a little bit.
Yeah. So rest from till the next podcast, you'll be playing Ys VIII probably. Is this gonna be what you'll be doing?
Yeah, that's probably the only game I'm gonna really have time to play. I might play something else for a game club we might be doing in a couple weeks or 3 weeks, but
yeah, I am gonna be playing Destiny 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like this weekend when I was like, man, I want to play some Destiny because like I've obviously known it's coming out this whole year, but like I'm definitely gonna get Destiny. Every time I think about it, I'm gonna get it. It's like it's never been a game that I've been like hyped for, but now all of a sudden it's like it's here. And I'm like, oh man, I want to play some Destiny. I hope it's good. I think it's gonna be good. I'm really upset that it comes out on a Wednesday. It's so weird. I don't know why. But whatever. This is getting recorded on a Tuesday, the day I have off. Like a normal game day. Assholes. At least when Nintendo's weird about it, they put it out on a Friday.
Yeah. Well, no, Nintendo does like Fridays and Saturday or Sundays for some fucking reason.
Yeah. Call of Duty is usually on Fridays now too. I think they usually use.
I mean, Friday I guess makes sense. Just hit it with a weekend, but yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Call of Duty is big enough to where it can release it whenever the hell it wants to.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Even with the diminishing returns, it's still selling millions each entry.
So it's like a down entry in that series still blows away most games, like in general.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I was gonna say probably the worst selling version of Call of Duty in the last like 10 years probably outsold Breath of the Wild. So.
Yeah.
Not probably. Never mind. No, I'm sure it did. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So. I wonder what the attachment rate is on that still for the Switch, because originally it was, or over 100%. So I'm wondering if it's still there.
It's probably lower. It's probably lower now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm just wondering if it's like
it's probably
now or the 50s.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird to think about people not getting that game with the Switch because there aren't many super big options. I mean, Splatoon's a decent size, a decent option now. But.
Yeah, and there's ARMS, I guess, for those that get into it. So.
I forgot about ARMS till you said it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of
Mario,
the few
Mario
things
Kart.
like when I go like to a game store and I see like like, oh, I wonder if there's just something I missed on the Switch, and like there's ARMS. I'm like, yep, nope.
I have played that game. Played the beta or whatever.
The Test Punch, I believe you mean.
The test. Sorry, yes, the test punch.
Yeah, because
that
Nintendo's
was
got to
only-
do what Nintendo's got to do.
Yeah.
Which is make
You
something
can only play
fucking
for like
weird.
an hour or 2 hours 3 times in a weekend or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
So I just happened to think about it at the right time. So,
Yeah, I remember you telling me you weren't planning on playing it, and then that that podcast we did. Hey, I played ARMS. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. I thought, why not? So I have a Switch. Might as well use it.
Yeah, get some use out of it. Yeah, I bought my my yellow Joy-Cons and I barely use them, so.
At least they look nice, right?
Yeah, it looked kind of fancy. So I wanted something because I wanted my own, and then I didn't want my daughter to be, any like I buy her own controllers for the most part, but they tend to get a little gummy just because she's 6. So we'll say. So yeah. She doesn't use her Wii U Pro controller very much, but even that, I'm like, compared to like mine, I'm like, I've used mine for a few hundred hours, and she's used hers for, I don't know, maybe a dozen. And I'm like, kid, what are you doing when you're using these controllers? God, it's like, oh God, children, I swear. So anyway,
that's why the 2DS exists.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she's got one of those. So
yeah.
She was originally using my my original 3DS, and then the or 3DS XL, and then the bottom screen went out. I thought she broke it, and it just went out. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't even blame her for that. So anyway, I think that wraps it up there. I don't think there's much else to plug that we've got going on lately. I think the next Game Club's probably going to end up being we're going to go Metal Gear again and go with Ghost Babel, just because it's a pretty short one to get through. So if you were looking to play along with us, I think Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel is probably going to be the next one we're going to do. And then I'll just go ahead and announce it. We're going to do probably maybe the end of October, mid-October. We're going to do the first part of Dragon Quest III. Mm-hmm. And Luke and I are going to have a special guest from a much, much, much more successful podcast, which could be any of the other 47,000 podcasts on iTunes. So
yeah, and we are trying to coordinate a Life is Strange thing.
Yeah,
we'll figure that out too.
Yeah, we're going to do that one episodic as it comes out. Yeah, we're not going to do it the way we did it last time, especially since this one's only 3 episodes. So I think it'd be interesting to talk about it, especially since this is how sort of this iteration of this podcast sort of came about, was with Life is Strange basically coming out. So
yeah, we're just trying to figure out when we're going to do it.
Yep. And because I need to get the time to do it, because I am trying to plow through a 40-hour game in the next week, basically, and I'm only 9 hours in. So yeah. So anyway, that will do it. So you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all the other social media sites. Stuff's on the site. You can follow me on Twitter at Jason Arriola. John, you are John Lucero 777.
Yes, I am.
All right, and that will do it. So like I said, next few game clubs, we're looking at the new Life is Strange, Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, which is the Game Boy one if you've never heard of it, which wouldn't be too unsurprising because it did actually have that subtitle in America. It was just Metal Gear Solid on the Game Boy Color, which odd choice, but hey, apparently they made it work somehow. So, and then like I said, Dragon Quest III, we're gonna split that up into 2 parts because I am not going to tackle a 30-something hour JRPG in 1 episode. I couldn't even keep Metal Gear Solid, a 15-hour game, down to under 4 hours. So yeah, we're gonna split that one up with Luke and the special guest. So. And Joe actually might be doing that one too. But anyway, so that'll wrap that up. We will talk to you guys next week.